Reporting. In each school, there's an appointed personnel for the Respect for All, which is a school staff member that receive the verbal and written reports that are bias-based behavior within the Dignity for All Students Act, which is in New York State for public and charter schools. Who should report an incident to the RFA or the Respect for All advocate or any other school employee? Any student, scholar who believes that they may be a victim, other students or parents, and any staff member or witnesses to the student-to-student bias-based behavior, intimidation, and harassment. Reporting procedures for school employees. I mentioned earlier that you have to make an oral report within one school day. That means that if you witness any harassment, bullying, and or discrimination, or received an oral report from a scholar or a student or a parent, you must speak to an RFA or a school official and submit the oral report to the principal, superintendent, or designee. And in the 5 boroughs, it's called the RFA, the Respect for All Advocate. Once you've spoken to that personnel, you are then to file a written report to the principal, superintendent, or the designee no later than 2 school days after making the oral report. Reporting procedures for students. If a student or scholar feels uncomfortable about making a report, they can email the Office of School and Youth Development or the OSYD at respectforall@schools.nyc.gov. Examples include if a student or scholar should use this procedure, as they're not really quite sure this behavior or harassment applies to the regulation, they previously made a report and the behavior continues, or they're concerned about coming forward. In such situations, the OSD will determine the appropriate follow-up action. The investigation. After you've submitted the oral report and the written report, the investigation begins 24 hours after the filed report and must be completed within 5 days. The investigation steps are implemented by the principal or the designee, and that includes 1, interviewing the alleged victim and documenting the conversation. Although the alleged victim has had their incident in writing as well as the oral report, they redocument the conversation and they ask the alleged victim to prepare a written statement again about the bias-based behavior, the description, when it occurred, and if there were witnesses. Number 3, they interview the accused student and advise him or her or them that their conduct has occurred and it must stop. They ask the accused student to prepare a written statement, or the alleged aggressor a written statement. They interview the witnesses and obtain their written statements if there are witnesses, and they advise the parents and guardians of the accused aggressor of the student's allegations. They also, number 7, advise parents and guardians of the alleged victim's allegations, and if the alleged victim informs the principal, designee, or safety concerns, she, he, they shall decide whether to inform the alleged victim's parents, guardians, after considering privacy and safety concerns, as well as consult the Office of General Counsel in making this decision. And finally, 9, when the investigation is verified that it is indeed an incident of harassment, bullying, and or discrimination, the superintendent, principal, and will take prompt action to end the harassment, bullying, and discrimination and eliminate any hostile behavior within the environment, creating a more positive school culture and climate. Please note that these reports that are filed are all sent to the state of New York at the end of every fiscal year. So by July 1, all the reports from the following year from every public and charter school are sent to Albany, New York.